Good morning. My name is Michael Nestor. So today I'm interviewing Debra Mitchell. It is Thursday, April 21st, 2022, at her home in Burleson, Texas. This live interview is being conducted for the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress. So, Deb, please tell us some background information, your first, middle, last name, date of birth, those kind of details.
Hi, I'm Debra Mitchell. I was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts at the Chelsea Naval Hospital. And I spent my first few years in Lowell, Massachusetts. My father was in the Navy.
Your date of birth?
8/2/1954, August 2nd.
Okay. And who were your parents and their occupations? What did they do?
My father was Harold Eugene Hill, and my mother was Helen Lorraine Slattery Hill. And they were both in the Navy. Well, my mother was until she got pregnant. Then she worked as a telephone operator. My father was in the Navy. He was a lifer. And we moved around a lot.
Okay. Did you have any siblings?
I have no siblings.
Okay. What do your family think about you joining the service?
Well, my father cried and called his mother, complaining, "You don't believe what Debra did. She joined the Air Force. I can't believe my girl's going to be in the military." My mother was very happy about it. She thought that it was a good idea.
Okay. Did you finished high school and did you do any college courses?
I finished high school, I graduated, and I did some college work at Northern Essex Community College and at Tarrant County College.
Okay. And did you hold any jobs before you entered the service?
Yes, I was a billing clerk at Travelers Insurance for about a year. And then I worked at South Boston as a contract analyst.
Okay. How long did those jobs last after high school?
Well, my job at Travelers lasted a year, and my job at the South Boston contracting only lasted a few months because I joined the Air Force.
Okay. Okay. So, can you tell us now about when you went into the military? Air Force, you enlisted? You weren't drafted?
No, I was not drafted. I enlisted in 1977.
Okay.
I went in September 23rd, 1977 to boot camp in San Antonio, Texas, at Lackland Air Force Base.
Okay. Why did you join the service?
Because I wanted to make something of myself. I wasn't doing much. I was just kind of hanging around.
Okay.
I wanted to have something.
Sure. I understand. So you did boot camp at Lackland.
Lackland, yes.
In San Antonio. How many weeks was that at that time?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay. And where did they send you for tech school?
I went to Chanute Air Force Base in Illinois at the vehicle maintenance school.
Okay. Vehicles, Jeeps, trucks?
All vehicles, Jeeps, trucks, forklifts, street sweepers.
Okay. Anything that you could find on an Air Force base?
Anything you could find on an Air Force Base. Pickups, ambulances, everything.
Diesel and gasoline engines?
Mostly gasoline engines.
Okay.
I did that for about a year, and then I went into the maintenance analyst job.
Okay.
Where I scheduled vehicles for maintenance, scheduled them for their annual maintenance, scheduled for them for any needs that their squadrons needed to have done on them.
Okay. Do you have, what would you say your most vivid memory is of your time in boot camp? What did you like the most or like the least?
I liked most getting my uniforms ready, having them perfect and my bed perfect.
Okay.
It was a challenge.
Yes.
It was also a challenge to sleep with 50 other girls. The thing I liked least about it was running the 3 miles. That's why I followed behind the girls that would drop out so I could help them along. And I wasn't running all 3 miles.
Okay. Do you have any, again, the same thing about tech school, most, the best memory, the worst memory?
I have all good memories about tech school.
Okay.
Hands-on on the engines was interesting. And we spent a lot of time snowed in
Okay.
the barracks. But other than that, it was fine. It was good.
Okay. So where were you assigned after your first assignment after tech school?
My first assignment after tech school was Upper Hayford, England.
Okay.
I can't remember the squadron. I can't remember the unit. But I was in the vehicle maintenance facility.
Okay.
And I worked on vehicles for the first year. And then the second year I went into maintenance and analysis,
Okay.
which was good because I put the lift down on top of my toolbox and I had a truck roll away from me.
Okay. Sorry to laugh, but those things happen, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't very hands-on on the maintenance part.
Okay. So, what did you think? What would you say was the hardest part of tech school?
The hardest part of tech school was the tests, remembering everything for the tests,
Okay.
and removing the wax from my room's floor. We had to remove all the wax. We were down there with razor blades and everything, getting the wax up, and then we had to re-wax the floor, and it was hard. It took us all night.
Oh yes, I remember those days. So, what was the highest rank you earned?
Staff sergeant.
Okay. Was there any particular part of military lifestyle that was hard for you to adapt to?
No,
Okay.
I pretty well got into the regiment and had no trouble adapting at all. My first assignment in Texas was at Carswell Air Force Base, and I was assigned to the hobby shop because the maintenance director didn't want a female on his floor. And so I was the first female in Upper Hayford, England, and I was the first female at Carswell Air Force
Wow.
Base in maintenance.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think was the easiest part of the military lifestyle for you to adapt to?
Just the plain regimen of it. Getting up at a certain time, having my chores done, getting my uniform ready, and being on time to work.
Okay.
Getting there with a good attitude.
Yeah, that's a good word. The regiment, the routine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yes. Okay. So, did you serve any time in a combat zone?
No, I served no time in combat whatsoever. I was in from 77 to 83, and there was no combat
Yes.
during that time.
Yes. But some of this can also relate to just your duty at your assignment in England and Carswell.
Yeah.
Did you make any close friendships? Any good comrades at either of those duty stations?
Not any that lasted through my service.
Okay.
I formed good bonds over there, but we didn't keep in touch.
Right.
And I met and married somebody I met over there, and we ended up splitting up after 2 years.
Yeah, that bad.
Yeah, that hurt.
Did you do any kind of recreational activities off duty in England or at Carswell?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It was very boring.
Did you go out to one of the things I enjoyed about my overseas assignments was like going to the town off the base and
Yeah.
trying the different restaurants and the different food.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did. We went to all the different pubs.
Okay.
Tried their food. The sandwiches were really good. There was like an anything goes sandwich, and it had all kinds of different vegetables, and it had bacon and cheese, and
Wow.
it was really good. And the different beers
Yes,
were
they have.
good. They have wonderful beer.
I have
over there.
not been to England, but the German beer was good.
Yeah, the English beer was really good.
Did you? One of the things I've always been curious about. Did you eat the traditional fish and chips wrapped in newspaper?
Yes, that was the best.
Was it good?
I lived in Banbury,
Okay.
right by the Banbury Cross, and we used to get fish and chips all the time.
Yeah.
They were really good. It was a main staple.
They always look so good when I see them on British television shows.
Yeah, they were real good.
Do you have any recollections of at either duty station of anything that was particularly humorous or unusual?
Oh, yes. I was, we had different assignments, and I was assigned to clean the trenches in the floor where everybody spit and drained fluids.
Oh, so like in the
from
motor
vehicle.
pool building?
Yeah, in
Okay.
the motor pool building. I had to clean that. That was particularly disgusting.
Yes.
So was cleaning the street sweeper.
Okay, I can imagine. Yes.
Yes, that was really bad.
Now I got to ask a question, just out of curiosity. Do you think you were assigned those tasks because you were a woman?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
That is truly terrible.
Yes, I wanted to see how I'd react to it.
Sure. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Well, that was fine. I adapted to it.
Oh, I'm sure you did. You were a good soldier, as they say. But I'm still sorry that happened to you. Was there something you did in the squadron or the multiple for good luck?
No,
No. Okay.
I just trusted in the Lord to take me through it.
Sure. And I, have to, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I had a hat, specific hat that I always wore that hat when I flew on combat missions over North Vietnam in the
Oh,
tankers.
yeah, that's different. That's different.
And I would not fly without that hat. And I still own that hat today, and I wear it whenever I go fishing, and I call it my lucky hat.
Yeah, it would be.
Overall, is there something you would call the best part of your service experience?
When I received the Meritorious Service Medal,
Okay.
that wasn't particularly good. I had to go in front of a bunch of officers to get it and tell them, why I thought I got it, what I did to receive it.
Sure.
And they had to explain why I was on a hobby shop instead of maintenance.
So, tell us about that. What did you do to earn the Meritorious Service Medal?
I just did my job best I could.
Okay.
And I had a lot of people working with me. I had the ability to get people to work with me
Okay.
and create a lot of camaraderie between the people that had the vehicles and the maintenance people.
Sure. So this was awarded at Carswell in Fort Worth.
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive any awards after your time in England?
That was the Meritorious Service Medal I got, was from my time in England.
Oh, but they awarded it to you at Carswell.
Carswell.
Okay. Did you receive any awards then for your duty time?
I was Ms. Goodwrench.
Miss Goodwrench. All right. I like that. So was that for like Miss Goodwrench for the month, for the year, for the quarter?
For the quarter.
For the quarter. Okay. Excellent. Anything else about your duty station time that you did you find any of the, being a northeastern girl from Boston, Massachusetts area, did you how did you take to the food here in Texas when you got to
All the
Carswell?
Texas is good food. I like the Mexican food.
Okay,
Taco Bell was one of my favorite places to go.
okay,
But overall, it was really good.
okay. Did you like the barbecue?
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
as much as Mexican.
Not as much as the Mexican food.
Okay, I can understand that. And my philosophy in life is there's no such thing as bad Mexican food. It's just some Mexican food is better than other Mexican food.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
So, okay. So how long did you spend assigned in England, and then how long at Carswell?
I was in Upper Haven, England for 2 years.
Okay.
I was at Carswell for 4 years.
Okay.
I had my first child in England at Upper Hayford. I worked all day and then drove myself to the hospital and had the baby.
Wow.
I went back to work 3 days later.
Okay.
And then I had my second child when I was in Fort Worth, Texas. I was in bed for 6 months.
Oh my.
I had placenta previa, and I had the baby 2 months early.
My.
He was a preemie, he weighed 4 pounds.
Wow. But everything turned out okay. Yeah?
Everything turned out okay.
That's great. Now, just curiosity question: your first child, your son,
Yes.
is he dual citizen, American?
He
British?
was, but he joined the Air Force Academy and he had to renounce his English citizenship.
Sure, I can see
He was
that.
only there for 2 years and he decided that it wasn't for him.
Sure. Oh, the academy?
At the academy, he did so much to get in there.
Right.
Then to give it up was,
But choice everybody has to make.
yeah. And he was young. He was
Yes.
18 years old and he was,
Sure. Did he go on to finish university work somewhere else?
no,
Ah,
no.
well. We all live with our own choices.
Yep.
Okay.
You can't force him into doing anything.
No, you can't. And you just make yourself crazy if you
Oh,
try.
yeah. Yeah, you just accept what you get.
Yeah. So, anything else in particular about your service time that comes to mind? Anything good, anything bad?
I enjoyed traveling in England,
Okay,
visiting London and visiting Oxford
sure.
and all the different places, going to the cemeteries, the old cemeteries.
Okay. So, here's another question I've got. Did you get a chance to travel down onto the continent? Did you?
No, I didn't because there was a measles outbreak,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so I couldn't travel to the continent.
Yeah. Did you get over to Wales or up to Scotland?
No,
No. Okay.
no. Having a baby over there was
Yes. Yes.
confining.
Yes. And I understand it, but that is one of the things I enjoyed about my overseas tours in Europe. I got to travel.
Oh, that's good.
Take a local vacation.
Yeah. I had to hitchhike to work a lot of times
Oh no.
with my gas mask and my helmet and my maternity clothes. I was big pregnant.
Oh my.
And I had to get out and hitchhike to get to work because my husband used the car to get to work in the middle of the night.
And no buses or anything?
No buses, no.
Wow. Oh, yep. You were tough. You were tough. Okay. Let's start talking about when your service time ended. Do you recall specifically the last day of service and where it was and what happened?
My last day of service was spent at the office signing papers.
Okay. Here at Carswell?
Yes,
Okay.
Carswell.
Just a lot of papers to sign.
Just a lot of papers to sign. Yeah,
I think I remember the same thing.
yeah. It was long and drawn out.
So, I take it you didn't return back up home to the Boston area, or did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
About a month after I got out, I returned to Massachusetts.
Okay.
And I was there for only 2 years.
Oh.
I came back.
Oh. Okay. liked Texas, did you?
I liked Texas, and I bought a house
All right.
with my VA loan.
Yes. Yeah, I did the same thing. VA loan was a good thing.
Yeah.
So
it's
did
my
you
benefit.
did you have any? What did you do for work when you were in Massachusetts that 2 years?
I mostly goofed off. I didn't do much of anything.
Oh, okay.
I went for my VA disability.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time at the VA clinic in Boston.
All right.
And I had a job as a intake person at the maintenance shop at a car dealership,
Okay.
getting cars in to be serviced.
Yep, I remember those guys.
Yeah. But other than that, I didn't do anything.
Okay, so what brought you back to Texas then?
I had a boyfriend.
Oh, yes. There got the act with a woman.
Father of my second child.
Okay.
I had him when I was in the Air Force at Coswell.
Okay. All right. So you came back to be with him.
Yes.
Okay. Did you get married or?
No, we broke up.
Oh, sorry.
No. It was a tough breakup. I couldn't support somebody that didn't want to work.
Carry their load. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I completely understand. I get so irritated at guys like that give my tender a bad name. I'm sorry. I just want to slap him.
He was very demanding and very ignorant.
So, did you do any college work after you went back after you discharged?
Yes, I did some.
Okay. Here at Tarrant County? Or?
Tarrant County College, yes.
Did you finish an associate degree?
No, I did not.
Okay. What did you study?
Math, history,
Okay. Just,
computers,
okay. General basic courses.
yes,
Okay.
basic courses.
So after you got back to Fort Worth, what did you do for a profession?
That I have to think about what I did. So I worked. I was in the Postal Service. I got into the Postal Service when I got out in Massachusetts.
Ah, okay.
That was the job I got after I was in South Boston at the contracting agency.
Okay.
I got a job at the Postal Service.
Okay.
I carried mail in the winter
Oh, tough.
with snow coming, and it was the bare in the morning, and by the time I got back, it was up to my knees.
Yes.
And then I carried mail down here in torrential rains.
Yes.
Washed the contacts out of my eyes.
Oh my. And the heat.
And the heat was unbearable.
So that was for the Fort Worth Post Office?
Yes.
Okay. How long did you work for the post office?
I worked for 17 years.
Oh my, okay.
And then I used my 6 years in the Air Force to make it 23 years of service.
Okay, yes.
And then I retired in 2000.
All right. I did the same thing with my military time and got an early retirement from the teacher retirement system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you said you didn't really keep up with anybody that you were in the service with.
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you feel like the service affected you in how you relate to other people?
Yes.
And that would be
Relating to people in everyday terms. Being close to people
yes.
and learning them and how they related to me and what we could do together
Okay. For the better?
for the better.
Okay, good. Yes, because one of the things I learned was you really can't be a loner
No,
in
you
a barracks.
can't. No.
So,
No, there's too many people around you.
yes. Have you joined any veterans organizations?
VFW,
Okay.
although I wasn't in a foreign war.
Well, that's okay.
And other than that, no.
All right. Do you still attend VFW meetings?
No.
All right. So, how about like unit reunions? Like you're from your unit in England, or
No, we have had no reunions.
Okay, all right. Just one of the things they say to talk about.
Can't talk about it. Wasn't any.
If there wasn't any, that's right. Time for reflections. How did your military service experiences affect your life in general?
I grew up a lot.
Okay. Maturity, yes.
I grew up a lot. Got my life in perspective.
Okay.
Knew where I was going.
What are some of the life lessons you learned from your military service?
Never say never. I can do anything that I put my mind to. Trust in your friends. Working with other people.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. How has your military service impacted your feelings about war in general and the military in general?
Well, I think the military is a good experience for anybody. I don't generally, I'm not a war hawk, but I think there are good reasons for us to go to war, and it's necessary. And if I'd had to go to war when I was in the service, I would have been proud to do so.
Sure. I mean, we all stood in that room and raised our hands and said,
Yep, I'm willing.
I'll salute the flag and go where I need to go and
Yep.
do what I need to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I've told friends of mine that never even went in the service, and that's okay, you know. And then folks, you know, friends I had that are veterans that, like you, never experienced combat. You followed orders. You went where you were assigned and did the job you were assigned. And
One thing that we did was every year we painted everything that didn't move for inspections.
whether it needed it or not.
Whether it needed it or not, it got painted.
I remember those inspections. Yes. Is there a message you would like to leave for future generations who might watch this interview? It's going to be stored at the Library of Congress and available online at the Library of Congress's website eventually. It'll take some time to process that.
Yeah.
But, so like your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, any words of wisdom for them?
Yes, it'd be wise of you to join the military. It's a good experience. It is great for your life.
Okay. Well, we thank you for taking the time. Just sorry, notes. Is there anything else you would like to add that we might not have covered during our conversation?
Well, I was involved in the lockup at Carswell Air Force Base. I was in charge of the inmates for a certain period of time.
Okay.
It was an additional duty.
Wow.
As was making the budget for the transportation squadron was an additional duty.
Okay. Gotta love those additional duties.
Yes.
I had plenty of those.
There are many of those.
Yes. Anything you've always wanted to share about your service experience that you haven't talked about before?
No, other than it was the best experience of my life.
Okay.
I wish I had stayed for 20 years instead of just 6.
Yes, I can relate.
But it was like accepting an unaccompanied assignment and leaving my children, which I couldn't do.
Sure. And I had to make a family decision also,
Yeah,
which is why I never finished a career.
yeah.
What would you like people to remember from your story?
Well, that I enjoyed my service and that I'd do it again if I could, but they don't accept people at my age. And I think it's a good experience for everyone.
Yes. Is there anything else you feel we need to talk about that we haven't covered?
No, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yep, we're getting there. What do you wish that more people knew about veterans, all veterans in general?
That all veterans are real people and they've had extraordinary experiences and they have stories to tell. And especially the older veterans, the ones who were in WW2.
Yes, like my father.
Yeah, they have great experiences to share.
Yeah.
And so do the Vietnam veterans. They went through a hard time, but they've got some experiences to share
Yeah,
too.
some of us do, yes. So, well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate you sharing all your memories with us. And have a great day.
You too.